It is a sunny day. Peppa is playing with her bouncy ball outside. She's playing with her ball. George and his friend Edmund Elephant are playing with their space toys. They are pretending that they are on the moon. Ha ha ha. They pretend that they're on the moon. Mommy and Daddy Pig have an idea. There is a show at the museum about the moon and space. They all go see it. They drive up to the museum to go see the moon. But Peppa is nervous. She doesn't want to go to the moon. Will we really have to go to the moon? Peppa asks. No, Peppa, Daddy Pig says. We are not going to the moon. We are going to the museum. Mrs. Rabbit gives Mommy Pig 5 tickets. Enjoy your trip to the moon, Mrs. Rabbit says. Peppa is confused. She thought they were going to the museum, not the moon. Confused. Then Mr. Rabbit leads Peppa and her family into a rocket ship. Peppa thinks it looks real. Mr. Rabbit even puts on a helmet like a real astronaut. But Mr. Rabbit reminds her that it's only pretend. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Woohoo! On the first stop of the tour, Mr. Rabbit explains that there are 8 planets that go around the sun. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Peppa and everyone she knows live on Earth. Some planets are made of rock, some planets are made of ice, and some planets are made of gas. Peppa is so excited. The next stop on the tour is a big room with moon. If this was the real moon, you could jump over my head, Mr. Rabbit says. Ooh. Gravity is what keeps us on the ground, explains Mr. Rabbit. It is weaker on the moon, so you could jump higher. Peppa is impressed. Mr. Rabbit straps everyone into anti-gravity rubber bands. Then they bounce high into the air as if they are on the moon. It is a lot of fun! Ha ha ha! Say moon cheese, Mr. Rabbit says as Mrs. Rabbit says as she snaps a photo. Moon cheese! Everyone cheers. The tour is over, but Peppa still has many questions. Are there trees on the moon? She asks. No, Mr. Rabbit answers. Are there any cars on the moon? Peppa asks. No, Mr. Rabbit answers. Are there any moon shops? Peppa asks. No, Mr. Rabbit answers. That would be silly. Ha ha ha. Peppa and her family and Edmund enter the museum shop. Welcome to the moon shop, says Mrs. Rabbit. The moon shop sells many things. Daddy Pig buys a piece of moon cheese. The moon cheese is very tasty, he says. But the moon is not really made of cheese. It is made of rock. Mrs. Rabbit holds out a photo. Here is a photo of piggies on the moon with an elephant, she says. Everyone giggles. They like the picture. Peppa, George, Edmund, Mommy Pig, and Daddy Pig have all had fun day at the museum and in space. They took a lot of pictures. These are the stickers. And this is the end of the Peppa Pig book.